It's a nightmare happening every day on our streets and in our neighborhoods. It's an industry hiding in the shadows and destroying lives. No, prostitution is not a victimless crime. And now, as Kate Flexter tells us, there is a new strategy being tested in Sarasota on how to deal with it. Kate.
Well, Alan, these organizations tell us it's all about shifting that mentality from viewing these women as criminals to instead viewing them as victims.
It was like something I never thought I would experience in my life. It was terrifying, it was degrading, and it was humiliating.
She was homeless when she met 22-year-old Ronald McBride.
He approached me and he expressed interest in me that he could help me. We became a couple. He needed money and he forced me into prostitution.
But the relationship quickly became physically and emotionally abusive.
I had to endure being forced to sell my body 10 to 20 times a day. I had to give all my money to Ronnie. He started off as a romantic, kind, and gentle boyfriend, and then he flipped a switch.
It all came to a head one night in December of last year.
He held a gun to my head, threatened to take my life, sexually assaulted me because I did not give him my money.
That's when she decided to run to the Sarasota Police Department for help and was put in contact with an organization called Selah Freedom that helps victims of human trafficking like her reclaim their lives. It's all part of a large collaboration called Turn Your Life Around, or TYLA. Spearheaded by State Attorney for the 12th Judicial Circuit, Ed Brodsky, the Sarasota Police Department, Selah Freedom, and First Step Addiction Recovery. It's the very first prostitution diversion program in the state.
It's very important to start to get them help and the treatment they need.
Outreach coordinator for Selah Freedom, Misty LePerrier, says human trafficking is more common locally than you might think. Florida is consistently named among the top 3 states in the nation for human trafficking. And this year alone, Selah Freedom says it's seen more than 1,000 girls, many of them with similar stories to McBride's victim.
They're offering them shelter, romance, love, a lot of things that these young women haven't had in a long time. And then slowly but surely it turns to a more violent nature, as we saw in the McBride case.
LePerrier says this program marks the start of an important shift in mentality, viewing these women not as criminals, but instead as victims.
It's very important to make them feel comfortable because a lot of times the women that we serve don't see themselves as a victim.
For years, Captain Corinne Stanish of the Sarasota Police Department says their fight against prostitution saw little progress.
We would put it in the newspaper about what a great job we did, and then the problem was back about a day later, if that.
But after talking to Selah Freedom, Stanish says they realized issues of human trafficking and prostitution weren't just related, they were one and the same.
It's not a victimless crime. And what we were doing in the past was arresting the victim and actually letting the exploiter go.
Today, the department has changed that mentality. Officers go through training with Selah Freedom to learn how to deal with victims of human trafficking, getting them in touch with the resources they might need.
Now we're actually saving lives and actually seeing hardcore results of having these women come off the streets.
Last month, after a grueling trial, Ronald McBride's victim finally saw justice. McBride was found guilty of human trafficking, the first time ever locally. He got 50 years in prison, and she got her life back.
I have found my worth, my voice. I've reconnected with my family. I am working on my dream of becoming a victim's advocate, working with women who have been exploited to give them the gift that they are worth so much more.
The program has received some grants from the state, but is looking for more state funding moving forward.
Kate, thank you.